Good evening, everyone. It is currently the 21st of December 2016, and if you thought this year's typhoon season was over with, you might want to think again. We have a tropical depression right now located just near Yap towards the east of Palau. This is what many people in the Philippines often call a Grinch storm. We've seen that in past years with Washi, Wilma, Haiyan, and now we have this one, which has not been named yet. But there is a good possibility that this area right here could track towards the west. Now, before I get into this update, I want to let you know that this is still developing. But the big thing is that at this time, you really want to making those extra plans for around the Christmas holiday. And this is always a big worry of mine. Whenever we see holidays, people often just say, okay, I'm going to power through it. When the storm system comes, if it does become a major storm, you want to definitely take it very seriously. Remember when the Pope actually visited the Philippines? People died, and there was a plane crash at the event in Tacloban. I know a lot of people were there, but this is something I do worry about, especially since Christmas in the Philippines is such a major Catholic country. So do be safe. And let's get into this though. Tropical depression right now moving west at 15 kilometers per hour. Winds 30, gusting to 45 knots. JTWC actually has this intensifying up to a typhoon prior to landfall. And always do remember, this is moving through an area that actually the vertical wind shear is not too low. It does have some dry air down towards the south and kind of along the northern periphery as we look ahead into the forecast. Main reason is the northeast monsoon, but anytime we get a storm kind of moving into this area, especially if it's a tropical storm or a weak typhoon, we've seen years past, it's actually a term that Michael, one of our weathercasters here at Westpac Weather, has coined, the Philippine Sea Effect, and it's just a rapid intensification. I'm not saying this could happen there, but these are all possibilities and variables you want to keep in mind if you are out here. Now, as we go ahead through Thursday and the Friday, this likely is going to intensify following the southern edge of the Westpac High located out here just around Guam. We have the northeast monsoon and actually a cold surge blasting in from the south, and all that should keep this moving on more of a westerly track. I know earlier on today, the Navjam actually had that cold surge kind of hooking our storm and pulling it towards the northeast, and that threat, that possibility still is there. It's very slim. Wouldn't rule it out, but definitely the chance is lower for this one and more likely a westward or a northwestern track into Visayas around Samar or southern Luzon here on Christmas Eve heading into Christmas Day. That's what most of the tracks are indicating right now. If we go back to the ECMWF model here on Saturday throughout the day heading into Sunday, this kind of tracks along that westerly path, moving pretty much right near Manila. Even if the winds aren't a big threat, this is still going to be a big rainmaker because it is combined with the northeast monsoon. And what that really means is that we have that extra push of northerly winds along the northwestern periphery. That also means a large fetch area. So storm surge here along the east coast of Luzon really is going to be a concern, I do believe, if it does take a track like this, just because of those long duration, persistent winds with that interaction with the northeast monsoon coming out from this. Those of you who are fans of the GFS very similar, but a little bit further towards the south. Do remember with the Philippines, the further south, the more worrisome it does get. Haiyan, for example, in southern Samar, Washi was in northern Mindanao, Wilma, southern Mindanao. Those were all in the November and December, or those Grinch storms as we call them. Yeah, if this does even stay a tropical storm that far south, the flood threat definitely really would be there. That is why here on Wednesday, I'm not going to hold any punches with this. This is still developing, but I think just at the cost of a lot of people traveling on ferries, via plane, on holiday, this upcoming weekend, and definitely the midnight mass to Christmas morning, if this is impacting large populations around that time, that could be a disastrous situation. So do take this seriously. This is my first update on this one. Tomorrow I'm going to have another snow update and a probably green screen on this once we get more information, official naming and warnings have been put out by the Japan Meteorological Agency and Pagasa. Pagasa's actually put out a cast earlier on today as well, just discussing the storm system, and they're taking this seriously and trying to give early warning. So do stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching.